We saw in the last module how we had different worksheets and we added them together to basically have a consolidation. And what we're going to be doing here is looking at workbooks. Let's just review again what we had. We had in the last module one worksheet 2011, another one 2012, then 2013, and then we consolidated them into what looked like the following. And we had our formula up here to indicate how the number 3700 was derived. The question we are looking at now is what happens if the data from the 3 years is stored in different workbooks. Possibly different regional headquarters might forward files to a central location, like an accounting center. Well, what we'll be doing now, we're going to learn how we can do this via using techniques. There is another way using data consolidate feature. However, there is a constraint in that manner, and we need to know in that case that the data to consolidate must occupy exactly the same cells on each worksheet. Now, even though we may be doing that in this situation, but we don't want to restrict us in that manner. So we're going to be more flexible, and we will get the sum of the information in a similar way to which we did the 3 worksheets before. And we're going to illustrate the procedure by utilizing 3 books that have been already created in different locations and have them added to the file which we will call consolidate. Our final result is going to look like the picture, the chart over here on the screen. However, we're going to see again the technique will be a little bit different since we're dealing with workbooks. An approach whereby we're going to introduce, while we do this, a topic called templates. And we'll understand this by the following introduction. If we were starting out fresh and we knew we had to create various spreadsheets with similar information, like we're going to be doing here, we could create a template, T-E-M-P-L-A-T-E. A template is a worksheet from which we take the pattern of information we need in order to share its design or a layout with other worksheets. It helps promote standardization. You should realize when you see a template, the extension is XLSX. It contains worksheets, text, formulas that you can use to create other worksheets. All the formatting is going to be complete. All you need to do is add what information you want to put in. Let's explain in more detail what I've just said, and we'll take a look on the screen. Look at the template which we could have designed for one of our divisions for quarterly sales. The template has fictitious data in there. Now, this template is generic. So it says total quarterly sales for 2000, and the year could be any year, 2010, 11, 12, 13, which we will fill in based on the workbook specifics that we need. Also notice the sales. The sales are 1, 2, 3, and 4. These values are typically called dummy sales. They're just used to verify the formulas in the template. In other words, they don't mean anything now, but once we fill in a workbook for a specific year, let's say 2011, we will then have the sales filled in accordingly. Everything else stays the same. The only difference will be the year will be changed here to fit the year that we want. The sales will be filled in accordingly, and the chart will automatically change as we put in a value. Now, even though this won't be correct, but if I just put in a value to demonstrate what's going to be, take a look with me. So for example, assuming this were filled in now, we could put in just real data, which I'm not going to put in, but I'll put in some data just to demonstrate what would happen. let's put in let's put in 300, and then let's put in 30, let's put in 40, and let's put in 5. So as you can see, as we enter the data, the chart changes automatically. And this is the idea. We're going to construct a template whereby all we need to do is fill in the data, and then we'll have a specific year for that information. And we're going to be doing this for 3 years, 2011, 12, and 13, and then we will add these 3 workbooks together. Here's the procedure. We have someone create a template like we have over here, and then we put in the specifics for the workbook that we need. So for example, we're looking for total quarterly sales for 2011, so we just put in 2011. And then we continue and we put down the sales, etc., and whatever sales they were accordingly based on the data that we have, and we would change the title down here. And the key thing is when we save it, since it is now a template, we save it as a typical worksheet. So you see over here it says template. We will save it as a regular worksheet, and then once it is saved, we have the worksheet, and we'll go back to the template to create another one for the year 2012 and save that, and then we'll create another one for 2013. So we'll then have 3 separate books, and we'll then combine them. So let's see the final result of this, and then we'll continue. So what I put on the screen are the 3 workbooks that have been created through the template for the year 2011, 2012, 2013, and you see they are all identical as far as the shape and setup. The difference is obviously the sales for each one of the years and the graphs for each one of those years as well. Keep in mind when the template is created that the values in the template never change. The template is permanent. It's only a vehicle to be used to help you create other workbooks, sheets that are of a similar nature. Also, the template is available at any time. In this case, if you have another division, we could make use of the template design again. This way we don't have to recreate the wheel. We can now return to the template, change the quarterly sales to 2011 to 2013, quarterly sales down here as well. And now we have to figure out how to sum up the values for each one of the 3 workbooks. Well, place your cursor in cell C5, and we'll then go to Home and click on the Auto Sum. We then go to View, because we're now going to bring in the first workbook. Go to Switch Windows, click on the workbook we have over there, and we'll go to cell C5, and we will click, and as you can see, it has been added to my formula. And what we'll do next is put in a comma, because we are now going to add the next workbook. And let's go to View, and let's go to Switch Windows again, add the second workbook, go to cell C5, repeat the process, and let's put in a comma, and finally let's go one last time to 2013, and let's go to cell C5. We'll press enter, and we see that we have a result. However, before we copy down the formula, we want to get rid of the dollar signs, otherwise we'll get the same value as we copy it down, which we do not want to get. We now see the result without the dollar signs, the absolute value, and we'll now copy down the formula to the next 3 rows with the final result showing. Let's take a look at the formula now. The cell C6, C7, C8, and back to the first one, and now we have a final result of the 3 workbooks now consolidated for the years 2011 through 2013. We should now save it, but do not save it as a template. Save it as a file, and you will now have a permanent record of the sum of the 3 workbooks for the 3 years.